try new things. It's okay not to be good at things because no one's good at everything.
Hi, Wolfpack fans. Welcome back to Engineering Pack Pod. This is our Tiny Wins segment, and today I am joined by Abe Michel, a Ph.D. student in computer science. Hello, Abe, and welcome.
Hi, Marcy.
So glad to have you.
Glad to be here.
So to start us off, this whole segment is about bringing in our students who are going through challenges and having them model the fact that little baby steps help you go forward. It doesn't have to be an earth-shattering accomplishment. So before we get into that, how did you end up here at NC State? I know this is not your hometown.
My girlfriend really likes the warm weather, so when I was looking for grad school, we were looking on the coast, and it just so happened that NC State had a really good CS education research program. So that was really what influenced my decision to apply here.
And what are some fun facts about you before you got to NC State, where you lived, and what you did to, I guess, that a listener would find fun?
I think one of the more unique things is that I had 2 majors and 4 minors. But I'm from Iowa. I wrestled in college. I was super active in the school, and yeah, I fell in love with teaching through SI program at my school, and that's kind of what led me to want to do a PhD.
Lovely, lovely. And a wrestler as an undergrad, and now here at a big university,
Yeah.
which I think is a little different than where you were in Iowa.
Yeah, the Loras College was, I think we had 1,300 people in the entire school, so this has been quite the change.
It's such a big change. I actually worked at a school, University of Redlands, that was about that same size, and you know everybody, and everybody gets in your business.
Yeah, you can't walk across campus without saying hi to someone.
So finding your community here can also be challenging. How did you do that?
I got really lucky. They did the CSC 801 class, which was essentially, hey, make friends and get used to campus. So that was really nice. I found a lot of my good friends now through that class, and just being involved with other things. I've met other people too, which has been nice.
Good. Well, I'm glad you're adjusting. I know it's your second semester here. And let's think a little bit about the challenging part. What hit you that was heavy?
There were 2 things that really got me last semester. One was moving away from everyone I knew to a new place that I'd never been. And the other was going into a program where I didn't know things. Like, in undergrad, I felt like I always had a handle on the classes I was doing, almost as if I had done the subjects prior. And then coming into a PhD program, not knowing anyone who'd done a PhD program before, it was a lot of things that I had to learn and figure out as I went. And that was really hard. It put a lot of stress on me.
Yeah, and the stress is kind of a combination because, as you said, maybe a little homesick.
Yeah.
And then also so many unknowns, and that can be very overwhelming. So let's get into the tiny step you took during the overwhelm.
The little things like calling back home a lot and making sure I went out with friends. But I think one of the biggest things for me was talking to my advisors and talking to faculty and just talking with people, because it made me feel a lot less alone. It helped them understand where I was at and what I needed from them. And I think that was the biggest step in this semester being so much better than last.
Connection. I'm so glad you hit on that because it can feel quite isolating. You can start doubting yourself, and then you start talking to other people and you feel like maybe the confidence is building up. Walk us through what happened when you did that.
At first, I mean, I've heard of all my friends doing these papers and having these big research accomplishments, and to me, we're all starting at the same place because we're in the first year of our PhD, but in reality, some of them did masters, some of them were in industry, some of them knew exactly what they wanted to research. And so after talking with them, even though we had such different backgrounds, we were feeling a lot of the same stress and pressure and kind of imposter syndrome things. And it made me feel a lot more like I wasn't doing something wrong, that I had friends here that understood what I was going through and people that I could talk to that wouldn't just dismiss me because they weren't dealing with it.
Right. So let's get a little bit into that messy middle of feeling a bit isolated, I should reach out to my advisor, but my advisor's so busy. How did you kind of get over that hurdle and get that courage?
I had two advisors last semester,
So,
so
to make it even more complicated,
yeah, I was split between projects, and one day I went into our weekly one-on-one, which I was super lucky to have because I know some people who don't have those one-on-ones. But I went into that one-on-one and I said, "Can we just talk about something not research related for a second? I feel very overwhelmed. I don't feel like this is something that's working for me right now and something needs to change." And so we went for a walk. We spent our entire hour walking around campus and just talking about it. And that helped a lot. Made me, it kind of broke that barrier of him being an advisor and me being a student that works for him. It then became, hey, we're working together and we're friends. And even if it's not the friendship that you typically see, it's something more than just a superior and someone working for them.
yeah, and that part of it, realizing that you were seen and heard.
Yeah.
And someone took the time. And I love the walk and talks too. I think that's one of my favorite ways to connect with people because you're not just sitting there staring at them, but you're moving your body and you're out in the fresh air. And that's all really therapeutic. So, what advice, Abe, would you give to someone? Because it sounds like the first semester was rough.
I reiterate over and over again that you just need to talk to people. Other people are still people, and they will talk, they'll listen. It's really nice. One other thing that helped me with a PhD specifically is first semester I looked at it more like school, like I did in undergrad. And this semester I'm treating it a lot more like a job, which not only helps me get my work hours in, but it also creates a separation between, okay, now I'm not working anymore. And I can relax and enjoy myself a little bit.
Right. The adjustment from undergrad to grad is very different. And that's kind of what I want to give you as your last question. And one of the things I was thinking about is the last time you did something for the first time, listener, just think about how you felt. It's your first time doing it. Like there's a lot of those stress, anxiety, you start doubting yourself feelings, and then you do it. And it's like, oh, okay. So it wasn't as bad as I thought. Like, have you ever been on a podcast before?
No.
Okay, so when you walked in here, were there like some butterflies?
A little bit. The
Well,
lights are a lot brighter than I thought they'd
the
be.
lights are very bright, but you did it. You just did a
Yeah.
podcast. So, to help us conclude today, drop another gem for us, Abe, for those folks that need to believe in themselves.
Just try new things. It's okay not to be good at things because no one's good at everything. And you'll just be better at everything by trying new things.
That is so important. Try new things. Let's be real. When we started this podcast, I think I messed up and we had a couple takes and we're like, we'll have a bloopers reel. It'll be fine. But no one in here was shaming me and saying, oh my gosh, Marcy, you did not do that perfectly. We're not going to be perfect. We're working on progress. And I like something else you said, which was you're all beginners, but you're beginning at different stages. The person with the master's degree is at like chapter 4 and you're at chapter 2, right?
Yeah.
So you don't need to compare that. Two chapters, you're on a totally different journey. And people publishing things and you're comparing yourself. Is there anything else you want to say about that comparison piece? Because I know a lot of students get sucked into that.
Yeah. You hear it all over comparisons, the killer of joy. And I think that's something that I have to keep reminding myself. Just be happy and acknowledge the positive progress you've made just within yourself and focus on that instead of what other people are doing. Celebrate other people's positive progress, but don't drag yourself down because of it.
Yeah. And this PhD is an exercise in endurance and
Hmm.
persistence, and it's a long run. How do you stay motivated when you're just in the grind and you're like, wow, I'm just at the second semester?
A lot of times I remember why I came here in the first place, and I think of alternatives and how much I really, if I wasn't doing this, I'd probably be doing this just not being paid for it or not getting anything for it. And So I think I'm fortunate enough to be in a spot where this is what I'm passionate about. So,
Remembering your why.
yeah.
Ah, that is near and dear to my heart. And listener, you are not Amazon Prime. You will not arrive in 24 hours. You got to be patient with yourself. Thank you so much, Abe Michel.
Thank you for having me.